Welcome to your Optimal Personal Economy podcast with Justin Bennett. Your personal economy is your ability to create, protect, preserve, and utilize your wealth, your financial world. Justin will share strategies and stories to help you optimize your personal economy. Now, on to the show with Justin Bennett and co-host Matt Halloran.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Your Optimal Personal Economy. This is Justin Bennett here. Just wanted to talk to you guys about some interesting content that we've put together in the form of a white paper. A white paper tends to be a really good way to communicate to people about information that's important to the clients that we serve. It's important to the people that we're going to serve in the future who are going to be introduced to us through our existing clients. And I think it's a good opportunity for us to allow for the marketplace to read up on its time, when they want to be able to read up on information, because everybody moves at a different pace. Everybody moves at a different, with a different schedule. And frankly put, people want to look into things on their time. And so because we realize that, we feel it's important to put out some information for our clients, to remind our clients, and then also to allow for our clients to share information with people that they care about, who look similar to them, who may want to benefit from the benefits of proper planning. So we put together this white paper most recently, and it's titled How to Empower the Present Value of Future Earnings for Optimal Planning. So let me just spend a little bit of time breaking that down and giving it a little bit more detail, because what often happens is people are inside of their profession, and the folks that we serve and the folks that receive the highest level of value from the type of work that we provide are those that are performing extremely high inside of their profession. So they may own their own business, they may be very high level sales professional, or they may be a higher level executive manager. And so when you look at those types of folks professionally, what tends to happen is, because of the work that they do, they oftentimes produce high levels of income. And so when you produce a high level of income, it typically would suggest that you're a high performer. And a high performer is somebody that is committed to their profession. And so the question becomes not so much, hey, that person is a high performing professional and as a result has a high income and therefore understands planning, but rather that person's a high level professional earning a high income, and therefore he or she understands the work that they do. And as a result of that, they're generating this outcome. This outcome is high levels of income. And so it's really, really important for us to spend time with these folks, because they appreciate long-term relationships. They appreciate a professional that understands them. They appreciate a team of folks that are there to serve them, serve their family, serve their planning, serve their future. And so what we try to do is outline some fundamental principles that we feel resonate with those professionals that are high performing, generating high levels of income, and want to align themselves with a professional that can help them inside of their finances, inside of their money decisions, inside of their planning. So the first principle is a principle that we say discipline wins championships. Discipline wins championships. And so if you're a sports fan, you've probably heard the expression defense wins championships. We feel when it comes to financial literacy that discipline wins championships. And so if we were to kind of explore this a little bit more and understand it a little bit further, there's oftentimes people that have high income because they're high performing professionals and they try to live this life of keeping up with the Joneses. So they're always trying to impress upon others or acquire more stuff just to be able to try to showcase what they've got. And we feel like the ones that are best served with the type of work that we do are high level professionals, as a result, earn a high income, and by design, don't try to keep up with the Joneses, but rather try to capture as much of that income back onto their balance sheet that would result in them being able to move through time in a very purposeful, driven way with clarity and with the ability to know that when they get to some future point, they will be able to shift into a phase of their life that they can have their assets produce their income rather than they produce their income. And so, in order for that to happen, it requires a substantial amount of discipline. And those that have discipline will win the championship of being able to spend the most amount of income on the least amount of capital. And so, this becomes something that discipline wins championships is a principle that we want to expand upon when we're working with our clients. Another principle that we like to talk about is this notion of absolutely loving liquidity. What we see a lot of times is, the marketplace tends to want to put money onto their respective balance sheet somewhat blindly. And as a result of that, the vast majority of the wealth tends to be tied up in either sticks and bricks, as we would refer to that as sticks and bricks, which is real estate, right? Primary residence or other types of real estate. And they also tend to have a lot of wealth tied up in qualified retirement plans. To be clear, both real estate and qualified retirement plans are just fine assets. They're just fine. However, in the absence of liquidity, it results in a lot of challenges, right? So people that are performing at a high level, people that are earning high income tend to love liquidity because what they're able to do is take advantage of opportunities as they arise and do it in a way where they can be extremely swift and extremely quick on exercising that opportunity that others would not have an opportunity to take advantage of. So having liquidity is something very, very important. And having liquidity sitting right alongside the real estate and the qualified plans is very, very optimal. So it's not an either or. Just to be clear, it's having it all, but having it all in balance. And so the principle of loving liquidity tends to be very favorable situation and position that our clients like to operate from. A third principle as it relates to high performing professionals who are earning high income, they like to establish proper protection. And if you think about this idea that we're kind of talking about optimizing the present value of your future income, well, oftentimes one's largest asset, one's biggest asset is going to be the present value of all their future income. So if you quantify that dollar amount for a high performing, high income person, oftentimes it's multiples of millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And so if that's your largest asset, we feel from a principal planning standpoint, it would be most optimal to establish protection around that to the extent that would always be available back to family or back to business on your balance sheet. And so having that proper protection around likely that largest asset becomes extremely favorable, becomes extremely attractive to those high performing professionals who are earning significant levels of income. And then principle number 4 is what we call planning for the future now, right? It's so easy to move through time and have this thought process that I'm not ready, or I can worry about it in a year or 5 years, or when the kids get out of college, or when the mortgage is paid off, or all of these thoughts that so commonly go through people's minds, that once this future event comes to fruition, then planning will start. And so what we realize is that every person we work with and every person in the marketplace only has one compound interest curve as it relates to your planning. And so there's no better time than to start planning for the future today. As difficult as it may seem, as difficult as it may feel, as difficult as it may appear, by starting to plan for your future now, you're going to start to create the discipline, protect what's possible, and start to move in a direction that you really start to feel good about the work that you're doing when you're working with a professional, working with somebody from Bennett Financial, somebody that can truly understand that we're trying to give you space to focus more on family, focus more on your profession, and focus on the things that are important to you, whether it be any sort of hobby, running, golfing, boating, etc. So we want to start to help you plan for the future now with the ability to grow into your planning. And so these 4 principles are very, very important when it comes to the work that we do for high performing professionals earning high income. And we realize that everybody in the marketplace does not fall into this category, which is totally fine. We do not look down upon people that may not fall into this category. We just want to be very, very clear with the type of people that we serve. They tend to be most suited and receive the most value from the type of work we do when they're those high-level professionals. They own their own business, they're high-level sales folks, they're executive level management, and they're earning significant levels of income, and they want to just be able to align themselves with a professional. So even if you're listening to this and you're intrigued and you're into this and you want to go to our website, bennettfg.com, and download this white paper for free, which is something that you can do. You can feel free to read it on your own time, become more familiar with it. And even if it's something that perhaps you're not aligned with, I'm fairly confident that our clients, have a large network of people that they know. And, we would love for the opportunity to be able to provide the type of work that we do for those people in your world that might fit into this category. So feel free to share the white paper, feel free to direct them to the website. But we wanted to expand a little bit further on this notion of empowering the present value of your future earnings that will ultimately result in optimal planning. So that's about it for today. Appreciate your time and look forward to our next episode.
Your optimal personal economy, YOPE, is not solely based on your investment rate of return. It's your ability to protect, save, grow, distribute, enjoy, and transfer. It's your ability along the journey to seek fulfillment in all domains of life, not just money. Guardian, its subsidiaries, agents, and employees do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. Consult your tax, legal, or accounting professional regarding your individual situation. Justin Bennett, registered representative of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ Northeast Planning Corporation, 1150 Raritan Road, Suite 201, Cranford, New Jersey, 07016, 908-709-0020. Securities products offered through PAS, member FINRA SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, New York. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Bennett Financial Group LLC is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. California Insurance License Number 0H88104. This podcast is for informational purposes only. Guest speakers and their firms are not affiliated with or endorsed by PAS, Guardian, or Bennett Financial Group LLC, and opinions stated are their own.
2020-108366, expiry 9 of 22.